Okay, so we're speaking with Bianca Bradey, star of Wyrmwood. Bianca, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
You're speaking to us from Australia, so I'm guessing it's pretty early in the morning.
It is a little bit early, 7:30 on a Saturday morning. I
Am
didn't have a
I?
big Friday night, though. It's good.
Well, this project, what a mammoth project it was. Was it 4 years?
Wyrmwood, yeah.
Yeah. Were
Yeah, the
you
boys were making it for that long.
were you in on it from the beginning, or did you jump halfway through?
No, I came in probably the last 18 months, I would think. I sort of got cast after they'd already done a lot of other scenes, and then they sort of I don't know, rejigged the film and sort of filmed lots and lots of new stuff and decided on new storylines, and it's just sort of one of those things that evolved as they went.
Was it hard to jump in on his crew who had been working together for quite a few years now?
No, it was so easy. A lot of the times I'd be sort of the only woman around other than Kia, the director's wife, who was a photographer on set as well, and the costume girl and makeup girls. But other than that, I the only scene I ever got to do with other women was my opening scene. All
Oh,
the other
great
stuff,
scene.
it's all like men,
Yeah.
testosterone.
Am I right in thinking this was your first feature film?
It was my first feature lead that has been released.
Right.
I did do another film previously called Wrath. I'm not
Okay.
sure where that sort of got released. It had a lot of other Aussie actors in it as well. Steph Dawson from Hunger Games, but I don't know what they did with it. But I also did another film that hasn't been released. But it is it is my first
We'll
leading
check it
feature
out.
film. Yeah, that's been released.
With Wormwood being purely independent, being shot
Hmm.
on weekends, this, don't take it the wrong way, but this could have ended up looking like an amateur mess. Um,
Absolutely.
did you have any thoughts about how it would end up looking while she was shooting? Were you surprised by how great the final result looked?
No, because I saw that 7-minute trailer that they made years ago to start the project, and it kind of blew me away. And that's why I signed on, honestly. I signed on based on that trailer and chatting with Kia, the director, about the character. And it's one of those things, that you just got to trust that it's going to be okay and hope that people will see it. I mean, the nature of indie film in Australia is that maybe it will never get released.
Yeah.
As my other films, like, they looked beautiful, but nothing's really happened with them yet.
Well, hopefully something will happen, come off the back of the success of this film.
Yeah. Well, the good thing about this film is that it's just such a great concept, and the boys behind it are so passionate, and I thought this one was going to be different, and I just really hoped it would, and it is, and I'm so proud of it. It's amazing.
It is. It is. How freeing of an experience and process was it for you to not have to worry about the reviews for the half of a decade you were filming this film for?
um, God, you can't think about the reviews.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. You can't really care, and try not to read them because there can be 10 good ones and one bad one, and all you're going to do is remember the bad one. It's human nature. So you gotta just do it because you love it.
Were there ever any times where you felt the end of this project was so far into the future that you would lose the unique vision in which you had from the start of shooting this film?
Yeah, definitely. When I signed on, it was like zombies were the hot thing, and but I was like, come on, guys, we gotta hurry, we're gonna lose like the zombie. It's gonna then people aren't gonna be liking it anymore. But I think with Walking Dead, it's fine. People still love them.
Yeah, they do. Was it always the plan? Was it always the plan for this film to start with a scene taken from the middle of the film? And in hindsight, how do you feel if it started differently, the stylistic consequences would have worked creatively?
It is completely different to how they sort of originally did it with the script. So that was there was an edit earlier that just was linear, and then they decided to change it up. And I think it works better. I like that they started in the middle and sort of then jump back and tell it how it began. I think it works.
It
Yeah,
definitely starts with a band for sure. Now,
it
when you
does.
reflect back over the 4 years of shooting, are there any memories that are blurred between your life and Brooke's life?
Uh, My life is very different to Brooke's. I am definitely not some badass chick that's out in the bush fighting zombies.
There's loads of zombies in Wales.
Is there? No, there's not much similar to my life and Brooke's life. I definitely tried to add elements of my personality to her, but she is wholly and solely a figment of imagination.
I mean, in many ways, this film charts the development of faith and at large humanity. Does it also chart your development as an actor, given the duration of the years it took to make? How did your process change as you went along making this film?
Yeah, well, I guess because we'd stop in between and have months off, and then we'd come back to it. You've got to remember who you're playing and where they are in sort of the story arc, and I think she definitely changed a lot from the first scene to the last scene, because I got to film all of my stuff chronologically, so that was lucky. At least there wasn't jumping around. But she was pretty easy to come back to and find again. But I think the good thing about having so much time to do it is that I got to find stuff along the way and come up with new things and keep adding to her, which I don't think you sort of get if you shoot really fast.
No. I mean, with regards to time, I mean, it goes without saying that by nature, much of cinema strives to translate the essence of time as it passes in life. What were some of the most challenging scenes to shoot because of the differences in years some of these sequences were filmed in?
I think it was just challenging to make us look the same, like, because you had to keep the same hair and sort of have the same weight, and we're shooting in summer and winter, and so, you'd have a tan and then no tan, and I mean, that stuff's always challenging. I'm sure you don't notice that, you lose weight or gain weight, because you're not going to go, oh, she was thinner in that scene earlier. There's something wrong. It all works out.
Is there a specific sequence that you felt brought everybody on set together as a crew with a unified understanding and harmony for the vision of this film?
Yeah, definitely the end scenes. The stuff with the captain at the end, where we're sort of held hostage, and like the climax of the film. I think that was the shoot where we had the most people on set and where we got to all work together, and it was really fun. We were shooting up in this place called Oberon in central New South Wales, which is the coldest place in New South Wales. So it was icy and frosty, and I think it nearly snowed one night while we were there. But we all got to stay up there and just hang out, and I think it was fun. It was bonding.
Was there much beer on set? Just going a bit off topic, just so you can lead into the next question. Can you tell us a bit about your previous acting experience? Are you trained?
I have done screen acting at NIDA, but I haven't done like the full 3-year theatre,
Right.
big thing, because it just wasn't something that interested me. I just wanted to get in and start working, and luckily I've been sort of steadily working ever since. I've done, TV shows here in Australia and a couple of feature film roles and a lot of short films and plays through the years, and I just wanted to work, I think.
Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, I love it. I love it. It's amazing. It's I don't want to do anything else.
Okay, saying that, in the medical room scenes, you're acting a lot with your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty intense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Given your past acting experience, what motivated you? What inspired you to give that kind of performance in those scenes?
That was really hard, actually, not being able to move or talk or show half your face, and all you can do is eye acting.
Yeah.
And I found that scene really challenging, actually. I know I'd always stop and worry that I wasn't doing enough, because you hope that whatever you're thinking is coming through, and I think you just got to trust that people can see. The audience you're really smart. You can see when thoughts pass behind someone's eyes, just like you can in real life. And I just hope that it translated.
Oh, it is pretty unsettling to watch.
Oh, good. Yeah, I wanted her to not just be scared the whole time as well. I think I wanted to have a bit of humour, a little bit of I don't know, she's not going to be sitting there worried the whole time. Like, she's still got a personality. I think if that stuff was happening to you, you'd just be like, what the fuck is going on?
One of the scenes Key is being vocal about finding difficulties in shooting is your debut screen appearance with a photo shoot scene. How did you find that transition of acting between your stunt double and remaining fluid enough so that people didn't see it was your stunt double?
Yeah, luckily my stunt double looks a lot like me. So even on set, people would walk up to her and be like, "Oh, no, you're not Bianca. Which one are you?"
Really?
But no, I thought I really enjoyed that scene actually, because it was the middle of summer and it was really hot and sweaty and it was like a sauna in that shed, and I'd much prefer to be covered and dripping in sweat than freezing. So I was really happy in that scene. I liked getting up into the rafters and getting to shoot all the close-ups.
Among the many phrases used to describe this film, the one recurring phrase seems to be most commonly badass feminist movie. What did it mean to you to play such a strong and empowering role in this film?
We just wanted her to not be the victim in this film. We wanted her to not be the love interest and not be the girlfriend and not be the one needing to be saved. We wanted her to... It's not sexual in any way. Like, she doesn't have any love interest. The protagonist is her brother, and we always sort of thought secretly that she was the hero of the piece. I remember chatting with Keir and we're like, in the end, she will end up saving everyone. You think it's going to be the man saving her and, she needs someone to come and rescue her, but ultimately she's going to rescue herself, and we just wanted her to almost be the opposite, and so we never really wanted to show her weakness or show her crying while she's tied up for most of the film, we wanted to make sure that she wasn't helpless at the same time, that she would get herself out of it, and that she just didn't give up and wait. Yeah.
I wanted to touch on a depth and power between your first scene where you're taking pics of this woman chained up, and the following scene after where you find yourself at the same position chained up until you, of course, break out and become stronger for it. Were you intentionally making a statement that you're trying to take the chains off this classic cliche in films, which is that too often women aren't seen enough in films as strong, attractive women, as we just said?
Yeah, I love that. I think that is great. I wish I had thought of that. No, but yeah, we definitely wanted her to be more than a cliche, and we had many discussions about what she would look like as well, because it is an audience of men you're going for, and if there's a female in a film, you can't have her be completely unattractive and not sexy in any way. So you've got it's a really fine line between letting her be herself and be attractive and be a little bit feminine, but then still be really tough and strong. And I don't think that being feminine means that someone isn't strong either. I think she can be a woman and still dress the way that she wants, and she can still be badass.
Before doing this interview, we were actually in a superstore and we saw Wyrmwood on sale there. Now,
yay.
This is a pretty mainstream store, so this movie has been a great success.
That's awesome.
So my next question is, what's next for you?
Okay, well, I guess next up, I'm attached to a film in the US. Oh. I can't sort of say more about that one yet. It's still in the development stages. I'm in a web series here in Australia. It's a lesbian web series. It's called Starting From Now. And we've had 3 seasons already. We've had 14 million views. So it's really big in the lesbian and gay community sort of worldwide. Yeah, we're about to shoot season 4 of that in a couple of months. So that's going to be really exciting. And also Wyrmwood, I know, is gearing up to do something coming up with sequel-wise.
So that's official then?
It's not official. It's definitely going to happen. Okay. It's just how and when.
It's not official, but definitely going to happen.
It's going to happen.
Okay.
The
I
boys
like that answer.
Yeah, they're going to make it happen, but there is nothing in place yet.
Now, I know that initially one of the things that the Roach Turner brothers wanted to do was have zombies hibernate underground in the day and come out at night. Is this something we could expect to see in a sequel that those guys are talking about? Can you confirm that?
God, I don't know. I really loved that part of the concept. I know they didn't get to include it much. I think it was sort of budgetary stuff. Honestly, I think it's digging the hole and putting the people in there took a really long time to try and get them to come out of the ground. And so we ended up not being able to do it much. But I love that idea. I thought that was such a cool addition that no one else has ever done.
So much creative space in that idea too. I know, like you say, you did explore that idea to an extent, but if we could see that further executed, be it in this TV show they're talking about and a potential sequel, that would be fantastic.
Yeah,
for sure.
I hope so too. We'll have to get them to do it. Make them do it.
We were doing research online to prepare for this interview, and we did read that over 2 hours worth of footage was cut from the film. Are there any scenes you wish didn't end up on the cutting room floor?
No, I saw the earlier cut, the longer one, and I think that the shorter one is perfect. I think there isn't any extra information that you needed. I think it was all just longer scenes, but there was one scene which is a monologue from the captain right at the end that Luke Mackenzie, the actor playing him, did such an amazing job of, but it wasn't necessary to the story. But I thought that was an awesome performance, and I hope that he gets to use it somehow.
That's actually very brave of the filmmakers in this case, I think, because you might have a great performance in your film, but to step back and realise that doesn't serve the story. Like the film isn't going anywhere, we're just making it longer. It's very brave to take something as good as that out to help your film.
Yeah, no, there was a lot of my stuff that, we'd be like, you don't need that line, you don't need that bit, just cut it, because while, you want more screen time and you want to be saying more, it doesn't help the story and it doesn't help the film, and it sort of slows the pace, and so you just got to look at it objectively, I think, and just go, it's not necessary. Get rid of it.
We're also reading that during the film, you almost died.
No, not me. It was the stunt double.
Oh, no way.
I'm safe, yeah.
Oh, damn you, IMDb trivia.
No, not me. It was, my stunt double nearly died one day. She was jumping from the back of the truck onto the zombie truck, and she nearly missed. Nearly. It was definitely a tense moment on set that day.
We got a question from Steve in Cardiff. Could you read this one, Kevin?
I can read this for Steve. Okay. The Ozploitation genre has seen many highs over the last 4 decades. Do you have any personal favourite Australian horrors, and can you see a sustained growth of Australian horrors?
Mm-hmm. It's a very good question, Steve. I do have a favourite horror. I love Wolf Creek. It scared the crap out of me, and it was horrifying and sadistic and amazing. And I really do think that Aussies do great horror, because horror you can do on a smaller budget. You can you forgive sort of guerrilla filmmaking styles, and it's easier to do, and I think that we do it well. I'm sure that there's going to be heaps more coming out. I think this is going to be a really good year for Aussie cinema, and especially for horror.
Absolutely. You mentioned Aussie cinema. What about, of course, Babadook that came out last year? Critically acclaimed. How did you feel that one?
I thought it was amazing. It was beautifully shot, great story, and I did once again sit there covering my eyes for all the scary bits. So I never had to see the Babadook, the scary bits.
We have a question from Gavin Webber. He wants to know, have you ever met Rolf Harris?
No, Gavin, I actually haven't met Rolf Harris, but he did come and play a song at my school.
Oh.
When I was in primary school.
Oh.
Yeah. I know, controversial, huh?
Let's have a moment of silence just to reflect on that.
Yeah. He played his wibbleboard.
Well, this is awkward.
There you go. There you go.
This is just
You
awkward
weren't
now.
expecting that, were you?
We're talking about, for those who have yet to see Wyrmwood, it's available globally now with all good stockists, with the exception of Canada, which has the release date of July the 14th, if I'm correct, as a Blu-ray/DVD combo pack. Bianca Bradey, we thank you for appearing on The Table Bleed. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for taking the time out.
Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for having me.
Hold on! Come on, you zombie! You want a zombie? I'll get you a zombie.